Being a dad is hard. It's high stakes. It takes a toll on our self-worth, mental health, and can be lonely. But why would we ever want to do something so important in isolation? Legacy Makers, a conversation for dads, is quite simply two normal dads having conversations about, you guessed it, being a dad. The highs, the lows, and the learnings along the way. We are four dads. We want to remedy the deficiency we see in community for dads, and we want to ruthlessly encourage dads on their journey to build lasting legacy for the faces they love the most.
Eric, I've got a daughter. She's our middle child. She's strong-willed, amazing. She is like the one that it's so easy for me to fold to and like do whatever she wants, but then she also like can get me more mad than anybody else. Yeah. Your twins or your girls, they're the youngest for you?
Yeah. Well, one's kind of in the middle, like, middle and youngest.
Yeah, there
right?
you go.
But yeah.
Have they do they know who's older?
Yeah.
Like, do they talk about this?
Yeah, Anderson's 2 minutes older than Evelyn.
Okay.
I've been dreading this conversation once you said that we should talk about raising boys, which we did last time. We had a good conversation there. A lot of philosophical thoughts, strong perspectives of what we're doing and how we're molding these men, future leaders.
Yeah. Now we're just trying to survive.
This is going to be more of a therapy session than having it all together, man. But yes, my girls are beautiful, and there's something about their faces, and I just love them. I love the boys, but like they melt me. It's different.
Okay. Let me start with an interaction that made this kind of come to mind. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong in this, so feel free to push back on it. I notice when I spend time, Amelia's our girl, and I will just, hey, pretty girl, hey, you're so beautiful. You do. So I tend to, when I'm having conversations with her, I think I do a great job affirming and complimenting my sons. But a lot of what I compliment her on or talk about is appearance related. Now, I think that's very important to get validation. Yeah. But one of the things that was like that I have tried to be a little more intentional about lately is like, okay, I need to not say that less, but I need to add to that. What is the line from The Help? You as kind, you as smart. What is that? You as important. You as all important, smart, kind. Like, additionally, you're not just beautiful. You are strong, and you're really smart, and you're capable, and you can do hard things. But not intentionally, but by default, I say things and do things to her that are different than I do for my sons. Yeah. Good, bad, indifferent. What is your...
Well, I think...
Where are you on this?
I honestly... So I'm very... my girls is always... Maybe this morning, they came running down. I got back really late last night, and so first time I saw them, they came up, and it's like, beautiful, my beautiful girls. Like, I think there's like a... as dads, dads of girls, there's this natural like protector vibe that you're going to have. And I think part of it is like, I want to make sure that one day when my daughters are dating somebody, right, that they know who they are, they know whose they are, that they're, and you want to have them the confidence. And there's so much in today's world that's like people feel, especially pressure on girls on like appearance and all those things. And so I think it's natural to make sure that they hear you as their dad affirming them for being beautiful. Cause like, my girls came down, they looked like disasters. Their hair was everywhere. Like just woke up, but like they're beautiful. I want them to know they're beautiful always. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think you're on point though, to make sure that there's the other affirmations around strength and kindness and whatever's important is really, really coming front and center too. It's funny, like as I joked around earlier about not knowing or if I'm doing the right thing was with the girls, and it's harder for me, but translating it to work, there's actually some research that I saw that has stuck with me of women in the workplace that has actually impacted how I think about talking to my girls. There was I think it was a LinkedIn survey, and I'm going to get it mostly right, but it was like men will apply to 20% more jobs or promotional opportunities than women, despite the same woman being as qualified or more qualified. So there's a risk thing that's somehow not translating. The other piece of data that is really, really impactful, I think it was an HP study of the internal, their big global company. Men will apply for a promotion with 60% of the qualifications
so
of that job.
So if it says, oh, you need to be
these 10 things,
this many years.
Exactly. If a man has 60% of what is said is needed to do the job, they will apply for the job. The women, 10 out of 10. So if they were 9 out of 10 to do this job, 9 out of 10 things, they will not apply for it.
So how do you think our role as dads, like, feels like it's our job to help tell them to build some of that self-esteem or confidence.
Correct.
That you can do this. Listen to this quote right here. Before the world tells your daughter who to be, a dad can tell her who she already is.
That's beautiful. That's beautifully said. And that's so despite my girls completely owning me and me not having as much understanding, and I want my girls to know that their dad obviously loves them and thinks they're beautiful and all those things, but that they're strong and they're smart and they're enough. Because there is, and I don't understand it, but all the data that I've seen, these types of quotes, what I just referenced, there's something psychologically, or it's pressure from the world that is put on women that is not the same with guys.
Yeah.
And right, wrong doesn't matter. It just is. And so I don't want my girls to be in the cohort of, hey, I only have 7 or 8 of these things. I'm not good enough to go after that thing. Whatever it is, whether it's a teacher, a business role, athletics, doesn't matter. I want my girls to have the mindset of, I'm ready. I'm enough. I can do that. The confidence. And so that to me as a dad is really important to instill in them.
Okay. So that's really about empowering.
Yes, that's a great word.
Encouraging them, empowering, celebrating what they do. I feel like, and maybe it's easy to think this now, but it'll be easier when they're older. But when they're younger, I'm trying to think of tangible ways to do that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think part of it is how you talk to them. I mean, that's a big part of it, right? As you think about empowering, there are things, especially the younger ones, that maybe they're not ready to do. Maybe it's something that the boys would probably, because they're older, could go do, but like taking the time, even if it's inconvenient. No, that's your job. You're going to go do that, honey. Like some chore related stuff, right?
That's good. Like, to me, the tension with girls is this balance of protecting in tension with empowering. Because I do think there is an empowering piece that we need to encourage them to step up and them to do it. But I also think there is a good, healthy piece there of being their protector. I'm curious. Let's go look out 10 or 11 years from where we are now. I'm curious what kind of dad you're going to be when the kid shows up at the house to take one of your daughters on a date. Like, do you want to be the one that sparks fear? Do you want to?
I don't. I've thought about. Brittany and I talk about it. I think
Brittany will spark fear for them.
Yeah, she will for sure do that. I think it's really important. I think I have to resist the urge to like overprotect with the girls.
Okay.
Right. Part of the reason that maybe psychologically that women feel certain ways is maybe the dad actually was way more present and way more overprotective, and we just have to be careful about that. And so like when it comes to them dating, my hope is that I will be viewed by the boyfriend as somebody that's easy to talk to, and I will probably have a conversation around like, but not like I'm be waiting up with my gun. But listen, man,
I think at some point, this is just aside. I think we need to bring on a guest. We need a dad of teenagers sometime soon on this, because I think we're looking out at that phase and
oh yeah,
what's it actually like in the midst of it. Okay, so there's that piece. What I think a lot about, just going to be really honest here.
Yeah.
That a lot of where Amelia's worth or perception comes from is not just going to be how I treat her, but how I treat her mom.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is easier for me to, like I think in the Sons when we talked about apologies or something, it's easier for me to be kinder or gentler with her than it is with Laura at times. I think that's just an important thing for us to model.
Yeah, they're for sure. They're gonna. I think they're going to basically look at your relationship, their mom and dad's relationship, and that's what is going to be. And same with the boys, but that's going to be their expectation. That's going to be It's really, again, caught not taught. We have to do our very, very best just because that's the right thing to do. But like, you're essentially modeling day after day what their view of a healthy relationship is, how they will allow their spouse to talk to them or not talk to them, or how is conflict addressed. Right. And yeah, I mean, very, very important.
Do you find that your daughters get away with more than your sons at your house? I know they're younger anyway.
Absolutely.
And is that good or like it's
not
easy
good.
to say?
I don't think it's good. It's just, that's reality. I'm trying to figure that out.
Elizabeth, who's helping us record, I asked her, she had 2 brothers, and I asked her about, what did her dad do well, and she said basically one of the things that he did really, she had all good things, but one of the things he did really well is treated her the same as the brothers.
Yeah.
I do have a tendency to give Amelia more grace than I give the George or Andrew.
Yeah. I think that's a similar situation for me. It's getting a little easier as the girls get older now. They're 5 and, but it's something that I've wrestled around with. The other thing that I have, that's been a struggle compared to the boys is just like play, right? Like the boys, they'd want to go play ball or wrestle or do things. The girls, their imaginations and what they want to do. So I had this little note written down of like, resist the urge to be epic, just be engaged. Like, I mean, the boys, we do these big epic things, like and big epic, but like we, go to the batting cage and have this experience. They want to go to the arcade or they want to do these things. And the girls like,
and some of it's boy, girl, and some of it's just age, right?
Some of it's age, but the girls just want engagement. Like they want my time. More than the boys did. Like I could go outside and play catch for the boys for 15 minutes and then they're just on to the next thing. And that was like a big check. Dad played catch with me. The girls, like they just want like more time and they just, might be sitting or doing this thing or creating some like fort that we're sitting in and they want to have these stories. And the engagement, I need to be more engaged with them.
Okay. Engagement. What about emotions? Cause we're like the quantity of tears that come from my daughter is like 10 times what has ever come from the boys.
Yes.
And sometimes it's over, and this is a tension, like it's over irrational things.
Yeah.
Which this is not going to be
irrational in your mind, but in Amelia's mind, it's so.
It's just like, oh, they did this, and like I'm challenged to figure out how do I create space for the big emotions and also like balance with speaking truth.
Yeah. Well, what's that quote? It's like someone's worst day is their worst day, right? So for her, brother did this. In her mind, it's the most terrible thing. But I think you have to acknowledge the emotion, and again, separate the emotion from the child. Like acknowledge the emotion, but also push them to continue to you got to move on. And I think and that's back to what Elizabeth was talking about, her dad probably treating her the same. Like there's little things you can tweak, but you still have to speak truth about, okay, now let's think, now that you've calmed down, is that something that warranted that?
We talked about this with sons. Let's double click on it with daughters about this idea that where they find their identity and they seek validation. Somebody said that a dad's voice becomes part of her inner dialogue for years. And if the daughters who already know their value won't seek validation from the wrong places, is there anything in particular? We talked about with son. So my thing with George was like physical touch, putting my hands on him. It was telling him, I love you and I'm proud of you. I assumed for me, I think those things are the same for a daughter. Is there anything different for that?
I just think the role of the dad is moms and dads are different and equally important. But I think dads and daughters, again, you're modeling so much for them.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, I think about that a lot. The identity that I want them to have in terms of like how I see them, how their creator sees them. I've actually pushed the boys a lot, like on how they speak to them, like in terms of just ensuring, like, you know, if it's because Cam and Benny are old enough to like have a conversation. Hey, one day some boy's going to be over here. Like, is that how you want her to think boys should treat? You know, so their like light bulbs are going off too. So it's not,
that's good.
Like shared the responsibility. It's not just shouldn't be on the dad's shoulders. If you have boys in the house, making sure they're aware of that. And same with the girls. Like, it's not just like the girls have a role with the boys too, but that's been kind of cool to go on that journey with the boys and with their little sisters.
We talked about with sons, like prayer, speaking of prayer over them and what you say. Is there anything you say different to the girls?
No, it's very similar. It's again making sure that they know their worth.
Okay, I've seen you post about these affirmations. Do you do those with your sons too?
We did. We do. The girls. It's been definitely more, I think, intentional and more consistent.
And what is the affirmation? Give me the.
Yeah, so they go, you know, I am a child of God.
So do you say this and they repeat it?
Yeah.
How does that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am a child of God. I am loved. I am smart. I am strong. I am a good friend. And I'm going to have a great day. And they love it. And then like it's fun, you know, like it's again that like it seems simple and seems, you know, but it's powerful. Like Evelyn will say like, I'm a child of God or I'm strong, you know, like they need to know that. They need to believe it. They need to say it. They need to, you know, it's that, you know, self-talk that's really important.
Ooh, I think that's good.
Yeah. Like because that's really what I think we're doing as dads longer term is like, I think you said it a little bit differently, but for me, it's like we're helping them form how they're going to speak to themselves. Like when they get into a tough situation, like when there's heartbreak, when there's a tough situation at work, when they're going through, like, what are they going to like anchor to? Like we're helping them create, you know, things that they can anchor to long term.
Yeah. I believe everything you said is true. And I just want to acknowledge that I think there was a time that I would have probably resisted that. I would have been like, that's a little bit hokey, like this self-talk piece. But there's a principle in Proverbs that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yeah.
And the principle is like the way you think about yourself, it affects your actions. Like it affects who you are. And so the way they think about themselves starts with the way that in our families, as dads and moms, that we speak into them and helping them see that. So and I like it starting at a younger age because sometimes there's an excuse for me of like, well, when they get older, we'll have that conversation or when we'll do it. But even the simple things at the young ages.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you're planting seeds and then you're watering those seeds. And I think the earlier you can plant those seeds, doesn't mean if you haven't done it and you start to do it when they're 10, it's not impactful. That's not what I'm saying. But better earlier, because again, it's just going to be the compounding impact of that. The one thing I have to resist and need to do a better job of is because of like this desire to protect them. And some of it, look, they've had health issues. We're still kind of going through something with Anderson. Like, so I'm oversensitive to it, but I don't want to be like too protective, too helicopter, too trying to protect them from everything because I know I have to resist that with them. And again, I don't know if it's just because the dad-daughter dynamic, but they have to go through
doing
hard
it for them, solving it for them, fixing the issue.
I'm much more, I see and again, they're younger, but still, it's a different urge that I have with them than their brothers. And again, I think it's the dad-daughter dynamic. I think it's some of the health challenges, but like there's just, and I have to step back because that's the way that they grow. That's the way that they learn, is to go through hard stuff. It's to, like when the boys get in trouble at the house, even when they were younger, at 5 years old, I had no issue. Like, all right, you're done. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. Your day's done. Upstairs. Good night. And I would not even feel like I needed to go like, hey buddy, so, good night. And you made whatever, like deal with it.
Yeah.
The girls, I give them 15 chances before it gets to that spot.
And I always wonder how much of that is boy versus girl, or it's older versus younger. Because a lot of times for some other people, it could be their younger sons that they're
some of that
get away with. But if you combine the two, it's the youngest.
Yep.
It's the last ones you're having, right? Is that the last one you're having?
Yeah.
And it's girls all combined can create a perfect storm of unintentionally having them be ill-equipped for the real world.
That's right. And that's the big that's the big watch out for me. I think, aware of the things, making good, but like that, if you ask me the one thing that I feel like I'm not getting, I need to do better, it's that. It's the firm, and I'm firm with them, but it just takes me longer, which is not teaching them the right thing.
Yeah, it's not the first time. It's not. It's
right.
Okay, the other night took George. We got a new Jenny's ice cream near us.
Oh, yeah?
Waited out in line. I saw your younger brother, your youngest, and his wife, and their daughter.
Yep.
She's really young. I don't know how old she is.
She's like, she's
less
7 months.
Okay, 7 months. So to him or to anybody else who's got a young daughter or about to have a daughter, what is your advice to a dad of a daughter? What do they need to know?
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask this. I don't know if I'm winning here. Oh, man. I'm interested to hear what you say. I would say just quite simply what we talked about. Don't underestimate the importance of how you treat their mom.
Yeah.
Obviously speak beautiful words over them, make sure they know that they're strong and they're capable and all that. But they are going to they're going to watch how you treat their mom, and that's going to be the model of what they think a healthy relationship is. And so more than the words, it's just the actions of like, how are you showing up and loving their mom well? Yeah,
I think it's good. I would tell people to just, we've said this a million times before, but this is a tension to manage, not a problem to solve. Balancing when to be soft and when to be firm on things. Make room for big emotions, and don't be afraid to still say like, there's still a line here. There's still right and wrong, and we're not gonna cave every time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good. Anybody raising a daughter out there, Godspeed. It's the greatest blessing. It will challenge you.
It will challenge you. That was good, man.
Good luck. We'll revisit it in a few years.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Legacy Makers with Kevin Scott and Eric Blumenthal. Make sure you download and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. All rights reserved.